This is my first book summary, and hence I would like to give a summary of my favorite book, You Can Win. This is written by a great Indian author named Shiv Khera. The best thing of this book is that the author tries to explain every concept with quotes and short stories. So let's begin. There was a man who made his living by selling balloons. Whenever business was slow, he would release a helium-filled balloon into the air. When the children saw the balloon go up, they all wanted one. All the children happily came and bought the balloons. At that time, a little boy came to the balloon seller and asked, "If you release a black balloon, will that also fly?" The man replied, "It is not the color of the balloon, it's what inside that makes it go up. It is the helium gas in the balloon which makes the balloon go up and up." The same principle applies to our lives. It's what's inside that counts, and what inside of us that makes us go up is our attitude. This is the first and the most important part of the book, attitude and how to build a positive attitude. Author says that there are 8 steps to change attitude. Step 1. Change focus, look for positive. Step 2. Make a habit of doing it now. Step 3. Develop an attitude of gratitude. Step 4. Get into continuous education program. The author explains all these points with various examples. For example, in step 4, continuous education program, the author gives an example of a woodcutter. Now, John was a woodcutter working for a company for 5 years, but he never got an increment. The company had a new joinee named Bill, and just within 2 years, he got an increment. John was very unhappy and went to his boss and said, "I have been working here for 5 years and never got an increment. And Bill just got in 2 years?" The boss said, "We are a result-oriented company and would be happy to give you a raise if your output went up." John went back and did a lot of hard work, but yet his output never increased. He went to Bill and asked how his output is increasing. Bill said, "After cutting every tree, I take a break for 2 minutes and then I sharpen my axe." Bill asked John, "When was the last time you sharpened your axe?" John said, "Oh, that was 5 years ago." So in this case, what is continuous education? It is sharpening your axe. Coming to the next steps. Step 5 is build high self-esteem. Step 6 is stay away from negative influence. Step 7, learn to like the things that need to be done. Step 8, start your day with something positive. The second part, post building a great attitude you would look up to, is success. Hence, part 2 is success and its attribute. About success, author says, when you want success as badly as possible, you will have it. Now this is a life story of a person. Age 21, failed in business. Age 22, failed in a legislative race. Age 24, failed again in business. Age 26, his lover dies. Age 27, had a nervous breakdown. Age 34, lost in America's election. Age 45, lost again in America's election. Age 47, lost the election to become a vice president. Age 49, again lost in America's election. And finally, at the age of 52, elected as the President of the United States of America. The person's name is Abraham Lincoln. Now, Abraham Lincoln wanted success desperately, and hence he got it. Thus, the author says, every success story is also a story of great failure. The last part I'm going to explain is self-esteem. Here the author quotes, "Every time we do something good, we rise a little bit in our own eyes, and reverse is just as true." Here is an incident of a high self-esteem person. A beggar was sitting at a railway station with a bowl full of pencils. A young executive passed by and dropped $1 into the bowl, but he didn't take any pencils. He then went to board the train. Suddenly he decided to go back to the beggar. He grabbed a bunch of pencils and said, "I'll take some pencils. They are priced right. After all, you are a business person and so am I," and simply went away. After 6 months, in a party, the executive and the beggar met up. But this time, the beggar was in a suit and a tie. The beggar told the young executive that he is thankful for that incident. He said, "You probably don't know what you did for me that day. You are the first person in my life who, instead of giving me charity, gave me back my dignity. When you grabbed a bunch of pencils and said, 'They are priced right. After all, you are a business person, so am I got back my dignity.'" Thereon, the life of the beggar changed. The only magic happened to beggar was that his self-esteem went up, and thus caused drastic changes in his life. A comparison of high self-esteem person and low self-esteem person is that the high self-esteem person will talk about ideas. The low self-esteem person will talk about people. One will have confidence, the other will create confusion. One will accept responsibility, the other will blame the whole world. One would be willing to learn, the other would say that he knows it all. The one would respect others, the low self-esteem person would look down on others. The high self-esteem person would be a giver, and a low self-esteem person would always be a taker. The best quotes in this book are, "Winners don't do different things, they do things differently. Winners don't let things happen, they make things happen. The winner always has a plan, the loser always has an excuse." To summarize, you can win. We started with the balloon example explaining attitude. Second, we spoke about success and its 8 attributes with an example of woodcutter and sharpening his axe. Thirdly, self-esteem was explained with the example of a beggar with pencils and a comparison of high self-esteem person and low self-esteem person. Lastly, I shared some great quotes which I mentioned in the book. This is really a great book, and in my opinion, everybody should read this. If you would like to buy the book, the link is in the description. You can support me by simply clicking on like and subscribe button and sharing it among your family and friends. Finally, a big thank you from BookMiles, the one thing that will take you miles.